Hey, look, man. It's like Michael Jackson said, alright? Alright? The King of Pop said it best. If you can't feed your baby, you don't have no fucking baby. Alright? Slow your roll and go get you like a Cabbage Patch doll or something. Alright? Holla later. Mama say, Mama Sama, Maku Sada, you motherfucker too. Alright? Peace. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Bang your head to the opening riff! What's happening, y'all? It's your boy J-Dub here, and welcome to episode 23 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. Episode 23, like my boy Michael Jordan, and we filming this on Daylight Savings Day, whatever that is. I'm not sure exactly which one it is, the one where we spring forward. But yeah, it's a 23-hour day, technically. Well, no technically, because we lost the hour day. So it's a 23-hour day. We're filming episode 23 of The Real Rush on a 23-hour day. The number 23, Michael Jordan ain't even here, but I'm Jim Carrey, bitches! Descending into sheer madness. As you can see by my haircut, or lack thereof. Sheer madness is what went on with us last night. For Saturday Night Angelika, it was pay-per-view style up at the Angelika last night, ladies and gents. But before we get down to that, and that is part of the brass tacks, we're gonna have to, do our brass tacks in order of appearance as they appeared this week. So yeah, let's go ahead. We're gonna get on down to our Thursday night feature, the big blockbuster. We survived another months-long Marvel drought. You know that the months in between Marvel movies, sometimes even close to a year, it feels like ages. But we here. We made it, baby. We made it. I'm talking about the 21st movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the last stop on the road to Avengers Endgame. Captain Marvel, baby! Well, the name of the movie is not Captain Marvel, baby. It is just Captain Marvel. But if it were Captain Marvel, baby, that's how I would have named it if I was making it. And that's probably why they didn't contact me to make this movie, because it would have been way the hell out there. Captain Marvel, baby! But tonight, Captain Marvel, baby, is Captain Marvel. So, yes, 21st movie. MCU, Brie Larson, as Carol Danvers. Now we're following her origin story and becoming the title role of Captain Marvel, baby. This takes place during the war between the Kree and the Skrulls, and Earth gets caught in the middle. And this is where S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in, and enter her partnership with Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson, a de-aged Samuel Jackson, because this joint takes place in 1995, and it is an excellent period piece. They did an outstanding job of capturing that moment in time, because it instantly took me back to my 7th and 8th grade years watching some of the visual aesthetics, and especially the music, the soundtrack that goes along to Captain Marvel. And there ain't no yet I digress from this, because I'm still talking about Captain Marvel, baby. Excuse me. The movie as a whole, alright, so let's break it down. The chemistry between Brie Larson and Samuel Jack is brilliant. Jude Law and Ben Mendelsohn put on some bang-up performances too there, baby. The action sequences and the humor, very well done. I did find it, however, somewhat predictable given my knowledge of, the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But, number one, even more so, I still found it mad enjoyable, even though I found it predictable, somewhat. But on the other hand, that means that it's still gonna fare great, if not even better, as a standalone film for those who aren't, big fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, who aren't hip to the franchise there, Mr. Biggles. Huh? Mr. Bigglesworth. I do highly recommend there. Of course, if there's any franchises to be caught up on, it's this one. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, Mr. Bigglesworth. Yes. And this 21 movies in, so you got some catching up to do if you jumping off from this before you see Endgame in a month and a half. This does officially set us on the road to Endgame. See it. See Captain Marvel. I saw the joint IMAX up at the Airbus Thursday night. Like I stated, this is my 11th straight Marvel movie up at the Airbus. I haven't missed one up there since I started going there. Since my first Marvel movie up at the Airbus was Avengers Age of Ultron, like 2015. So almost 4 years ago. Yeah. I suggest you do the same if you're in the DC metropolitan area. Go see it in IMAX at either the Airbus IMAX or the Lockheed Martin IMAX in DC, which I still have yet to be to. Or go check out. But yes. IMAX this shit up. Do I even need to mention that you need to stay all the way through the ending credits? It's a Marvel movie. If you don't know that shit by this point, you guys gonna have to take that away. We gonna have to take that away from you. Your Marvel card is revoked. And even more so, if the first 10 to 15 seconds from the movie opening to 10 to 15 seconds into, if that shit does not make you at least want to cry just a little bit, then you have no possession of any Marvel blood in your soul. Cowering, spineless, no, nothing, cold. There's nothing Marvel. You're missing it from your soul. Ha! Captain Marvel, y'all. Go see this shit. It's not getting a lot of hype as far as Marvel movies go. At least from what I'm hearing about it, just amongst like the general public. And I think I know where that's coming in. Don't go into it expecting another Black Panther. This Captain Marvel is her own thing. Alright? All standalone features along the way. They're their own thing. Don't go into it expecting another Black Panther. You can't get another Black Panther until they make Black Panther 2. Black Panther is Black Panther. Captain Marvel's Captain Marvel. Don't expect the same thing. You're going to get something completely different. And you might be disappointed. And I think that's where the disappointment's coming in at. Don't expect something earlier in the franchise. That's what I love about this franchise. To each their own, man. So yeah. Captain Marvel. We're still on that. Go see that shit. IMAX it up, baby. Jam. And now on to the last movie of this episode's Real Rush Ticket. This goes to last night at the Angelika for our Saturday Night Angelika PPV-caliber feature. I went up to this joint and saw, we'll kick it off like that. I saw a somewhat newish French-Belgian psychological horror film from Gaspar Noé. This debuted at last year's Cannes Film Festival and won the Art Cinema Award. This joint is called Climax. That's the correct emphasis, I believe, on that on it. I believe, because if you might be able to see my brain still smoking a little bit from this one. This stars Sofia Boutella, from some of you may know from Star Trek Beyond, and she was the Mummy in The Mummy from 2 years ago, which I really liked. A lot of people call it one of the year's worst. I really liked that movie. Yet I digress. That's a digression, damn it. So, this follows a hip-hop dancing troupe that's rehearsing at an abandoned warehouse. And there's an after party that's going to follow afterwards. Duh, after party following afterwards. Who'd have thunk such a thing? So anywho, at this after party, it descends into absolute horrifying chaos as the dancers turn partygoers. They're all sitting there having a good time. They're all drinking the sangria. Unbeknownst to them, someone has laced that shit with LSD. Yeah. If your reaction to just that alone was holy shit, man, by itself, then we're here. We're here, man. Because that was my reaction to just reading the synopsis about it, or the plot about it, going into the movie. Shit, I'm sold on this. So it's exactly how you think it's gonna, like, how it sounds. This movie is exactly how it sounds. It's certainly an interesting film. The choreography and the cinematography are truly hypnotic. So much so to the fucking point where I actually felt myself, and I'm not making this up by any means necessary, blacking the fuck out in the theater while I was watching this shit. By the time it was over, this movie had me fucked up, y'all. Like, as if someone had spiked my A&W root beer that I was drinking up at the Angelika last night, okay? Like, one of the ushers, who we see each other on a regular basis, because I'm always up at the Angelika, duh. If you haven't caught on to that by now. So, one of the ushers came up to me, sees me up there quite often, and she says, well, what did you think of the movie? And my first honest initial reaction was, I don't know, because I don't know what the hell just happened. And she laughed, and I don't know if I could join her in this laugh, because I really had no recollection of what the fuck just happened. So it took me a second to get my senses back around this joint, and to follow up my I don't know what the hell just happened statement, the best way that I could describe it is, and I'm not even sure if, this is a person who's, like, done, an illicit substance or something in their past, but it is truly like, and this is what I'm getting to, the movie itself is truly like a bad acid trip that has somehow gone horribly even wronger. Alright? Now, I've never done no damn acid. Alright? I've done some shit in my time. Alright? I'm not afraid to admit this. If anybody's watching this, it's not like I'm not gonna host the Oscars or some shit anytime soon. So there ain't gonna be no having to dig up anything like that. Yes, I've done some things in my past, as many of the people watching this, I'm sure, have done too. It was a thing called college back in the day where we tried some shit. Alright? But never acid, because I know how fucking nuts my mind is, and I even know that is something that I could not handle. So no acid for this boy right here. That was a bit of a digression. Yes. But, okay, so in my experiences in the past, I have had some bad trips before, so I can kind of relate to this shit. Nothing has ever escalated or de-escalated into the absolute trifling madness that occurs within Climax. Yeah. So, before you point the finger at me, don't you tread on me. You done some shit too, and you know exactly what I'm talking about when it's like a bad trip gone wrong. So that being said, Climax, it's not going to be for your average moviegoer, okay? Will it have a bit of a cult following at some point? I would think so. I would think so. This it's so twisted that I gotta see it again. I have to see this again because it fucked me up too much the first time. It's like Fight Club in that very same manner. This one I got a little bit more of the gist of the first time around than I did Fight Club, but I would still like to see this again. It got a mixed response from the audience at the Angelika, hence why I said it doesn't look like it's gonna be for your average moviegoer. I felt it was making people more uneasy of what was going on the screen than misunderstanding or misinterpreting what was going on the screen, if that makes sense. It won't make sense until you see it. It's like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas was bred from hell. See Climax if you dare. Not at your own risk. See this shit if you dare. Make sure your peoples is there with you. It's a limited release. Like I stated, it's playing at the Angelika if you're in the DC metropolitan area. If you're not in the DC metropolitan area, put Climax on your radar. Check this joint out, yo. Alright? Alright. And again, it does help having experienced some shit in your past. Not naming anything, but y'all done it too. And if you made it this far, then we gonna have to have a talk. Maybe you live life, maybe you haven't, but we ain't gonna go down that path, y'all. We're not gonna go down that path, man. It's a trippy path, man. Yeah. Alright, enough about my hippie ass past. And y'all's too. Potential. Apparent. More than likely. That's a wrap for this week's episode, ladies and gents. That's right. We got a chance to take a little easy this week. Last couple weeks ramping up for the Oscars and stuff. Been quite a little bit taxing. Yes, no, yes. At least for this man it was. So yeah. Thanks for all your views and support during that time. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut this joint a little early this evening, or today, whenever the hell you're watching this episode. But please do make sure to join me right back here next weekend for episode 24 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube, where I will have reviewed for you. We're going to have, alright, so it'll be a little bit of a bigger episode next week. I can't fit this into 20 minutes. We're going to have Captive State, Wonder Park, 5 Feet Apart, Gloria Bell. I'm looking forward to that one. That's the new one from Sebastian Lelio, the director of last year's, A Fantastic Woman. A fantastic movie. If you haven't seen that, I do highly recommend it. And The Wedding Guest. So that's all coming towards y'all next weekend. In the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, any ways that I might be able to improve the show, any suggestions, anything at all, go ahead and type those on into, the comments section of the YouTube page where you're watching this video here. Please continue to subscribe to The Real Rush here on YouTube, so that way you don't have to, if you're not privy to my Instagram or to my Facebook, you don't have to wait for any previews or anything. You get notified of it. And even if you are privy to my Instagram or Facebook, yeah. Just because I post a video doesn't mean that I post that preview as soon as I post a video. Y'all might be getting a little bit of a delayed response there. Ooh. What's that shit they call? What's they call it? FOMO? Fear of missing out on shit? Whatever will you do? Don't FOMO! Subscribe! Spread the word of The Real Rush like everybody should be spreading love these days, ladies and gents. And speaking of my Instagram, you may follow your boy J-Dub on Instagram for my live movie check-ins as they occur. That is at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for the Real Rush, I am J-Dub. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. Remember, when you're at the movies, gotta keep the lips shut. Gotta take the phones. You gotta put them on like low vibrate, low light, and shit. And the smartwatches, you gotta turn the motion sensors off. Don't wave your hands in the air like you just don't care, because I will care, and I will wave my hand hard against the back of your head if I see you do that shit. Make sure you are on time to the movies. Be on time. You must make sure to enjoy yourselves. And most of all, most importantly of all, we'll see you next weekend! Peace out!